United States has warned North Korea that military options remain on the table if diplomatic efforts fail to end the nuclear crisis on the Korean Peninsula. Speaking to CNN on Friday, U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said the Trump administration wants to achieve denuclearization through diplomacy, but those efforts have to be backed by a strong military option. Tillerson also urged Pyongyang to refrain from further provocations, saying they will only result in more severe sanctions. On the high-level inter-Korean meeting scheduled for Tuesday, Tillerson said the U.S. is waiting to see how the discussions go.
Meanwhile, Washington wants to clarify the drills are delayed, not halted. Pentagon officials say the combined exercises will resume after the games come to an end. Some experts point out this decision by the U.S. is not up for negotiation with Pyongyang. Our Defense Ministry correspondent Oh Jung-hee files us this report.
Every spring, South Korea and the United States hold two large-scale joint military exercises that usually kick off in late February or early March. They are a computerized command post drill called Key Resolve and a field drill called Full Eagle. In the case of last year, Key Resolve took place for 2 weeks in mid-March and Full Eagle for 2 months from March to April. This year, the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics are to be held throughout most of February and the Paralympics for 2 weeks in mid-March. Considering the dates of the exercises last year, there was a high possibility that this year's drills could overlap with the Games. On Thursday's decision to delay the drills, the two countries' Combined Forces Command quoted a Pentagon spokesperson stating that it's to focus on ensuring the security of the Games and that routine exercises are required to maintain military readiness. U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis also emphasized that the postponement is simply due to logistical concerns and the exercises will resume after the Paralympics comes to a close.
The U.S. made clear that the postponement is only to resolve the overlap of the exercises and the Games, nothing more than that. The U.S. is firm that the delay is not for negotiating with Pyongyang.
The South Korea-U.S. joint Sangyong or Double Dragon landing exercise, which was initially planned to take place in late March, may be rescheduled as well, with the dates currently under discussion. But military officials say Seoul's unilateral and domestic drills will be carried out as planned.
Exercise Full Eagle is ready to kick off, but soldiers from the 2nd Striker Brigade combat team couldn't wait to send rounds downrange with their Republic of Korea Army counterparts.
What we're doing here today is we're acclimatizing to the Korean environment and working with the ROK Army in a partnership. Basically, today what we're doing is reacting to contact and taking out a bunker. They're showing us some of their tactics, and we're showing them some of our tactics.
Even though each nation is prepared and ready to show off their individual capabilities, they stress the learning process involved with working together.
We get to learn some of their battle drills and skills, and as well as they get to learn some of our stuff. So it's kind of interacting, and everyone's it's a learning process.
That learning process is vital in strengthening this partnership.
It makes it stronger. I mean, if they understand how we operate and we understand how they operate, then if something were to happen, we'd both be able to interact with each other without any casualties like that.
But for the task at hand, how did the soldiers fare at showcasing their firepower?
I think we did awesome. Just killing targets all day. That's it, killing targets.
And for the soldiers of the Warrior Brigade, the reception they've received from their host nation counterpart only furthers this partnership on and off the battlefield.
When we got here, I was really impressed with their professionalism. I believe that they're great hosts and they didn't treat us with any malice or anything like that. They also kept an open mind while we also did the same.
Reporting from the Republic of Korea, I'm Army Sergeant Chris Hammond.
You worry about North Korea with its nuclear weapon?
Certainly. I think North Korea, what Kim Jong-un is doing, that regime, is extremely dangerous. They are clearly have developed a nuclear weapon. They're trying to develop a way to deliver that nuclear weapon that could threaten the security of the United States. They have violated the United Nations resolutions on this. There's been international sanctions imposed against North Korea as a result of it. We need to further isolate North Korea, but then have a surge in diplomacy, because there's not a good military solution here. What we want to do is put sufficient pressure on North Korea to change course. And that means the United States working with China and Japan and South Korea to get a realistic off-ramp to how we can get this crisis over with and put the pressure on North Korea to change directions.
Do you see the reaching from North Korea to South Korea, the recent sort of the reopening their negotiation across that border, is that a good thing or is that just folly?
I think it's a good thing. It's always good to see conversations taking place. It was part of the commitment made by the new regime in South Korea that they were going to open up more discussions with North Korea. We had the Winter Olympics, which give us an opening for the North and South to talk. I think it's a good sign that they're talking.
A day after South Korea and the US decided to postpone their joint military exercises until after the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, the defense chiefs of the two countries talked over the phone to reaffirm their strong alliance. Seoul's defense chief also reassured his American counterpart that the two-track policy of sanctions and dialogue remains in place. Oh Jung-hee reports.
South Korea's Defense Minister Song Young-moo and U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis talked over the phone on Friday night and discussed the North Korea issue and the South Korea-U.S. alliance. They reaffirmed their ironclad alliance and their shared goal of achieving the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula and peace and stability in Northeast Asia. While the two Koreas are set for talks on Tuesday ahead of the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, Seoul sought to put Washington's mind at ease. Defense Minister Song confirmed to Mattis that South Korea will continue its two-track policy of sanctions and dialogue with Pyongyang. And Mattis reaffirmed his country's ironclad security commitment to South Korea, including extended deterrence. The phone conversation comes after Seoul and Washington agreed to delay their joint military exercises, Key Resolve and Full Eagle, until after the Pyeongchang Olympic Games come to an end. The two countries' Combined Forces Command said the postponement is to focus on ensuring the security of the Games and that routine exercises are required to maintain joint military readiness.